Hello and welcome to Modern Toy Fair Top 10. I am your host, the man that Modern Toy Fair has full custody over, the man that Optimus Prime popped and still cannot stop, Nate. And I am bringing you my top 10 personal, most wanted G.I. Joe classified figures. So be sure to let me know in the comments down below what your top 10 G.I. Joe classified figures are going to be, and make sure to always like and subscribe for more toy content. So let's get right into it. I'm going to go start off at my number 10. And basically, what I want you guys to know about how I came to this decision is I did want to pick figures that meant a lot to me, characters that meant a lot to me as well. But I didn't want to pick anything that might have already been hinted at or could possibly be announced within the next few weeks or months. That's why you're not going to see Shipwreck or Crimson Guard or the previously announced but not seen Tomax and Zaymod. So my number 10 is going to be Wetsuit. So this is a G.I. Joe character on the Joe side. He is an aqua underwater specialist. And really with the team so far, we haven't really gotten into some of the more specialized units and forces and groups. So we know we're getting Shipwreck in the next few weeks or months, but not just a sailor. We need someone who can do full underwater operations. And it would be awesome to see a removable helmet since the original vintage figure, was completely covered. So we could have maybe possibly an alternate head and could maybe even be a repaint for an upcoming exclusive Target Mission Brazil set, because that vintage figure was also done the same way. My number 9 is going to be one that a lot of people kind of forget about when they look at G.I. Joe, and it's a Cobra character, and it's Wild Weasel. Now, Wild Weasel was the pilot of the Rattler full, uplift airplane that Cobra had from, I think, 1984 was when it first made its appearance. There's been some confusion on whether or not Wild Weasel was like a Viper and there were multiple versions, or if he was just one character. In the Larry Hama G.I. Joe comics that were done by Marvel in the 80s, Wild Weasel was one of the top command in Cobra, along with Baroness, Destro, Storm Shadow, people like that. So that's one that's kind of forgotten about, and I would love to see that modern, classified look to it. So number 8 is going to be another Joe, kind of going to go back and forth on it. So this is one of my all-time favorite characters, and that is Dial Tone. Now, somebody might be out there, especially younger kids, might be like, what even is a dial tone? But that's okay. Dial Tone was a communications expert. He had this awesome beret backpack that came up with this mic that goes over it, and one of the coolest guns in the entire vintage line, this white, awesome laser gun. Loved his color combo of the black and the green and the beige. And he would just seem like a cool guy with that sweet Timothy Dalton and the Rocketeer mustache going on. So I think he would make a great classified figure. Now, my number 7, going back to the Cobra side, and more specifically, a Dreadnought. Now, we've gotten Zartan. Zorana is currently rumored to be coming. But I wanted to go a little more outside of the box and not even go with one of the main 3 that were initially involved. But I wanted Gnawhide or Nagahide, depending on how you want to say it. This was a later Dreadnought who was known as a poacher and a hunter. He had an awesome, long-range rifle. He had a bow and arrow, and he came with a boar. Yeah, he came with an actual pig figure. So it was an inarticulated figure, but still, what we've seen already, what they're going to do with Fiona, with the Crocmaster, I would love to see what they could do with an articulated boar to go with my Nagahide. Plus, he always had that sweet hat that kind of looked like Crocodile Dundee's hat with an upturned part of it. So just a cool figure all the way around. My number 6, which is another Joe pick, is Rock and Roll. Now, Rock and Roll was one of the initial original 13 G.I. Joe figures that came out in 1982. I would like to see the classified version actually be of his version 2, which was more of the beige and green combo with the double Gatling guns and the backpack that fed the ammo through. That would be such a cool figure. It gives it much more personality other than that original one, because, in the original 13, they all wore the green fatigues. That doesn't make for an exciting figure. That's why they're making some changes even to Stalker, who was one of the original 13. And I think that would make the version 2 of Rock and Roll lend itself to a cool classified figure. My number 5, going back to Cobra, again, kind of just like I did with my previous Cobra pick as going as a Dreadnought, I wanted another faction. And in this case, it's Destro's Iron Grenadiers. And the figure that I would want out of that is the actual Iron Grenadier soldier himself. So that awesome red masked thing with the cool, almost like a German style World War I helmet and the awesome like dress sword and Uzi, all dressed in black and red and gold. Very cool look back then. It would be just as cool now. And we need some more of different Cobra troopers or enemy troopers in this case, because technically Iron Grenadiers was an offshoot of Cobra and did not go under Cobra Commander's command. My next one, my number 4, which is one of my all-time favorite Joes ever, and it's one that most people go, who? And that's Big Ben. Big Ben came out around 1990, 1991, right before they got into the, everything having a spring-loaded missile and neon colors. So this was right when they were doing realistic figures with tons of accessories. He was a British soldier, and so he was a British part of the GI Joe team. He had the awesome hat. He had all kinds of cool ammo and different stuff. Would love to see that figure in classified. It's a stretch, but that's why he's so high up on my particular list. Number 3, going back to Cobra, this is where we start to double up a little bit. I want the actual battle armor Cobra Commander. We got a great Cobra Commander that they've used 3 different times now with the classic silver face. There's talk that we may never see a proper hooded Cobra Commander. And if we could, I would love to see the one that was all in black from around 91. But since we may not get that, I would like to go back to an homage to the 1987 Battle Armor figure, which was the totally encased in silver metal with the blue cloth on it. The even better part that they could do here, which they did do in the 25th anniversary, is that they could make the removable helmet actually be not Cobra Commander, but the Crimson Guard Fred 7. So anybody out there who's a Marvel comic G.I. Joe fan knows that the Crimson Guard actually got themselves plastic surgery to all look like the same guy, which was Fred Broca. Crazy. Well, the 7th one actually killed Cobra Commander in the comics and took his place, and only the Baroness, and I think maybe Major Blood, if I remember right, knew the truth. You can let me know in the comments down below, but I do know it was Baroness. My number 2, which is going to be my last G.I. Joe pick, and it's Snake Eyes. Now you're thinking, Nate, we've already got a couple Snake Eyes. We don't need any more. And while I would love to say I would like to see Snake Eyes version 4, the one with the red goggles and the blue, this is a little bit of a cheat. I'm not saying that I want that, even though I do. This particular version is from Larry Hama's current comic book, which is the actual female Snake Eyes, Dawn Marino, who takes up the mantle after the original Snake Eyes is killed in battle. So it would be so awesome to see, the new Ninja Snake Eyes with the new outfit, the kind of the exposed under, the bottom part of the face exposed. You can actually see her mouth, and then the red kind of visor that goes up. I think that would make for a great figure. Plus, it does get another female figure in the line, and still Snake Eyes by name, so it's going to sell. And then finally, my number 1 pick, and it's the one that I absolutely am looking forward to the most. I do think it's going to happen, by the way, but it hasn't been officially announced yet, and it is Serpentor, and it has to come with its air chariot. So for anybody who doesn't know, Serpentor was created by Destro and Dr. Mindbender to take the place of Cobra Commander by combining the DNA elements of past leaders and rulers from all over the world, including Julius Caesar, Genghis Khan. I don't remember all the names. They were in the cartoon, but it was implausible as it was anyway that they were able to extract the DNA and then create Serpentor. Fun fact, Sergeant Slaughter also involuntarily allowed his DNA to be in Serpentor as well, which is why Serpentor kicks so much ass. He has to come with that awesome air chariot. He has to have his flowing soft goods, green cape, and that awesome gold Cobra hood behind his head. And we need to have that all four teeth in there. So love to see that one happen. I hope it happens this year. I think some of these may end up happening, and I think some of them may come sooner than later. And I think some of these are long shots. But please let me know what you think. That was my own personal top 10. Make sure to let me know in the comments what you would like to see other top 10 lists for. So Michael, Jarmar, and myself, we plan to try and do a new top 10 every single month. So make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram. You can even follow us on TikTok at Modern Toy Fair. And don't forget to also join us every single Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch TV.tv/Modern Toy Fair for weekly purchases where we get to show off what we have. So links for all our accounts will be in the description below. And hopefully we will see you next week. Same toy time, same toy channel. Thanks for watching.